Hello all, this is Anis with you. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I have created a Product Master CRUD in ASP.NET Core and EF Core. This is an excellent ASP.NET Core CRUD application with many fields, and the beauty of this application is it has 5 foreign key fields, and all these foreign fields are displayed as select list controls in the user interface page. Let's see the demo of the application which we are going to create. This is the Product Master module of the Project Inventory Manager. This is continuation of the previous video, so I request to watch the previous video also to have the continuity. For your info, I have provided the source code link and password for the source code in the previous video. It will be very useful to follow this series. Let's come back to the demo. Click the Products menu link to load the Products module. Then let's click the Create New button to load the product creation screen. In here, let's enter a relative product code, name and description. After that, enter the cost and price of the product. Then after, select the inventory keeping unit for the product. Just to inform you that the unit ID is a foreign key and the unit names are populated from the units table using the different repository. Like units, the other properties, namely brand, category, product group and product profiles, are also saved in different tables, and all these can be accessed only by the respective repositories. So this module is going to be very interesting, as I have uncovered some advanced concepts and codes in this video. Now we have entered and selected values for all the fields. Then let's browse and load an image from the file browser. After we select the file, the preview of the image is shown in the image control, and the name of the file is also shown in the caption of the file upload control. Now let's click the create button and save the product. Wow, the product is saved successfully. Then let's load the same product in the edit view. This we do just to check whether all the properties are saved properly or not. Then change cost to 300 and click the update button. Yes, the update module is also working fine. That's it in the demo. Now let's see how this application is done. In this part, we will learn how to add foreign key to a table with data. Because it is very easy to do the development when the tables are empty. But the real challenge is doing the development when the tables has already data. It is like finding the issue when the engine is running. In the last part, we had created the product table and loaded some of the rows into it. Now we want to add more columns to it without deleting those rows. So open the product model.cs, copy the units field and paste it below. Then remove the required attribute from the property head. Then rename the property name to BrandID. After that, change the virtual property name to brands. One more important thing we need to do. It is very important, so listen carefully. Change the data type of property BrandID to nullable int. This we do by adding a question mark after the int keyword. This data type can accept null values and integer values for that property. But why we should make this as a nullable field? We did not do this for the unit ID column. What is the problem with the brand ID column? Very good question. Thanks for that to myself. Actually, when we are creating the unit ID column, the product table was empty. So we can restrict the column to a required field and foreign key can be created. But now we have few rows in the product table. This is the common requirement. Many times we used to get the situation. We want to add foreign key column to a table with 1000 or even million rows of data. On that case, we can include a question after the data type like int question mark, so that during the table creation, EF Core will make the new column to null and will not be checked for the existence of foreign key value. After that, go to the package manager console. In here, type add-migration space adding brand to product. Then press enter and wait for the command to complete. After that, type update-database and press enter. then wait for the command to complete. In the same way, we will create the other columns like category, product group and product profile. First, we will create the category column. Then again go to the package manager console and in here type add dash migration space adding category to product. Then after press enter and wait for the command to complete. Now you know what has to be done next. Yes, you are right. We should type the update database command and should press enter. Then wait for the command to complete. Next, in the same way, we will add the product group to the product model. I think by now you might have become expert in adding foreign key columns to the existing tables with data. After that, add the product profile column also in the same way how we added the other columns like brand, category and product group. Now we are almost completed the product model. Of course, we need to add the product image field, but that field not now. We will add it later. Then open package manager console window and in here type add dash migration space adding other properties. Then after press enter and wait for the command to complete. After that type update database and press enter. Then wait for the command to complete. Wow! Now all the foreign key columns are created successfully. Let's browse the product table through SQL Server Management Studio Express. Select Products table and right click and then select Design View. Look here, the brand ID, category ID, product group ID and product profile ID columns are added with the null enabled. I mean the allow nulls checkbox is checked. This is what I am trying to explain to you. But notice null is not enabled for unit ID column because unit ID column does not accept null values. Now expand the keys folder in the SQL Server Management Studio. Notice all the keys of the table are listed over here. Our product table has one primary key and it has 5 foreign keys. Wow, that's good enough to make complicated and detailed CRUD application. Hello all, making YouTube video takes lot of time and efforts. But all these efforts should have a meaning. So please like, comment and share this video. Thanks a lot. Let's continue to the tutorial. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon to get notified. And next we need to alter the views of the product module. First one we are interested to modify is create.cshtml. So open the create.cshtml from the product folder. Let's add the bootstrap card template. This I took it from one of my project. Actually, I like this template. It gives better look to the screen if it has many controls. After that, cut the form element, then paste the form element to the card. After that, remove the unwanted HTMLs. And next, I want to divide this card into 3 segments. The first and second segments are for the controls and the third segment is for the image. First, move all the form controls to the controls area which we allocated inside the card. And next, add the bootstrap class called -6 to all the divs of the controls which we just moved to the card area. Then move the remaining controls also to the card area and add call-6 bootstrap class to those also. Then after, build and run the application. Now let's have a look of the output of our create screen. It looks much better than before. Wait, still we have not finished it. So continue watching. Then now let's add the remaining controls like brands, categories, product groups and product profiles. So go back to the create.cshtml and copy the units control div and paste it below. Then after change the ASP-for to respective property names like brand ID, category ID, product group ID and product profile ID. Remember, all these properties are foreign key properties. So we want to keep select list control instead of text box control. Because if we keep text box control, then the user may enter any values which may not be present in the primary table and will result in errors. So to avoid such a scenario, we will provide a select list and fill the select list with available values from the primary key table so that user can only select one from it and can avoid the referential integrity breaking errors. Okay, now let's have a look of the screen which we created so far. Wow, all the controls are aligned properly and we also have space to keep the product's image in the right hand side. But we have not yet created the image property in the product model. No worries, we will do this in this video itself. Notice all the select lists are empty. This is because we have not yet written any code to fill it. So let's fill that first. So open productcontroller.cs. Here we need to write code to populate all the select lists like brands, categories, product profiles and product groups. Since we are using the repository pattern, the data fetching code should be hidden for the outside world. And every request for data should be fulfilled only through the respective repository. So we declare the read-only variables of type iBrand, iCategory, iProductGroup and iProductProfile. Actually, we could do the repository pattern without an interface also. In that case, we should use the concrete repository classes directly in the controller. But now all the platforms recommends to use the dependency injection and we should design our application in a loosely coupled architecture. So we use the interfaces here instead of the direct repository classes. After that, we should create provision to receive the classes for the interfaces through the constructor. To achieve this, add the parameters of type iBrand, iCategory, iProductGroup and iProductProfile to the constructor method. Then we need to set the values to the read-only properties. Read-only properties can be assigned values only one time. Set the read-only properties underscore brand repo, underscore category repo, underscore product group repo and underscore product profile repo to the parameters brand repo, category repo, product group repo and product profile repo respectively in the constructor method. Now we are done with the constructor method. Then after we need to create the methods to populate the select list. First let's add the getBrands method to populate the brands. So scroll down to the bottom of the file and select and copy the getUnits method and paste it below. Then rename the name of the pasted method to getBrands. Then change the paginated list to list of brand. Then after change the name of the variable lst_units to lst_items because we are going to create few more methods. All methods are going to be very similar with minimum changes. So I am going to reuse this code for other methods. Then after change the unit repo to brand repo and change all the instance of the word lst_units to lst_items. After that, change the word units to items. Okay, we are done with the getBrands method. So let's create the other methods now. Then after, copy the getBrands method and paste it below. In here, change the name of the pasted method to get categories. After that, change the brand repo to category repo in the pasted method. Then change the paginated list type to list of category. That's it, we are done with the get categories method. In the same way, we will do the get product groups and get product profiles method. So to do that, copy the get categories method and paste it below. Then change the pasted method name to get product groups. After that, change the list item type of paginated list to product group. Finally, change the word category repo to product group repo. Likewise, do the same for the get product profiles method also. And now locate the http get create method and copy the viewback.units and paste it below. After that, change the pasted text to viewback.brands and set viewback.brands equals to getBrands. Then add a viewback variable named categories and set viewback.categories equals to getCategories. Likewise, add product groups select list also to the viewback collection. And finally, add the product profile select item list to the viewback collection. Okay, now we are done with the create method. Then let's build and run the application. Wow, our application is loaded without any errors. And importantly, all the select lists are populated from their respective repositories. That's the main point to note on this screen. But there is one mistake in our code that always happens and unavoidable when you are copying and pasting the codes. I mean to say, all the select lists are having the default item as select unit, which is misleading. So let's go back to the product controller and scroll down and locate the get brands method first and change the default item text from select unit to select brand. Then after, locate the get categories method and change the select unit to select category. After that, do the same for get product group and get product profile methods. Now build and run the application. Notice now in the create screen, all the select lists are properly loaded with correct and relative default items. Next, let's create an item. Enter code as GR0001, GR for governments, and this is the first government item in our software. Then enter name as wrinkle-free shirt and description as wrinkle-free shirts slim. After that, enter cost as 250 and price as 500. Wow, that's 100% GP. Anything more than 50% GP is a healthy GP. This is a very healthy GP. By the way, GP means gross profit, in case if anyone is wondering what is GP. Then select brand as Peter England and category as shirts, then product group as tops, and finally select product profile as men. Then click the create button. Wow, our product is successfully created. Now select and press the edit link for the product named wrinkle-free shirt which we just made. Notice the edit screen is showing only the fewer controls because this edit screen is from our previous video. Let's change the screen to the current version. So open the create.cshtml and copy the complete form elements from create.cshtml. After that, open the edit.cshtml and paste the copied text over here, I mean below the existing form. Then after, copy the HTML codes of the div of the item code element and paste it to the new form codes. After that, delete the existing item code HTMLs from the new form. Then add the call -6 bootstrap class to the item code element and make the item code element as read-only field and remove the validation span, as read-only fields will never be able to show the validation spans. It makes sense. And then go to the button controls div and change the value of the submit button to the update. Then after, build and run the application. Now let's click the edit link of the latest item. Oh, the screen is shrinked. I think I made a mistake. No worries, let's check and fix it. Actually, we forgot to include the bootstrap cart class to our parent divs of the edit form. So open the create.cshtml and from here copy the card and card header classes div to the clipboard. Then after, paste the card text from the clipboard to the edit.cshtml. Then change the header caption text to edit product. After that, build and run the application. Now look at the new edit interface with the latest product. But notice the select lists other than unit select list are not set to their respective value. This is because we have not added any code to populate the select list in the edit method. We had written code only in the create method of the controller. So let's add the code in the edit method also. In the product controller, locate the create method and copy all the codes populating the select list and paste it to the http get edit method. After that, build and run the application again. Let's select and load the item with code GR0001 in the edit screen. Wow, this time it is loaded properly. Let's check the edit operation by changing the unit from numbers to pieces and click the update button to save the changes back to the database. Then notice the button controls of the edit screen. It looks odd and spoils the beauty of the user interface. So we will improve the look of the button controls. So I have modified the button controls code as shown in the green box. Now let's save and run the application again. After that, open the same item again in the edit screen. Wow, our edit screen is looking great with the modified controls, and also the changes are updated back to the database. So our edit module is working fine. And next, modify the button controls area of the create.cshtml also similar to the edit screen, and then build and run the application. Wow, our create screen is also looking great now. With this, I am completing this video. Before I sign off, I request you to subscribe and share this video. I would appreciate if you would like and subscribe to this channel so that you will be notified for all of the new videos that I will be posting. Thank you and bye for now.